But yeah, our scenario for today is, what do we have? Ivory Towers is what we're doing. Lightning Peaks was actually kind of a problem, so maybe they're gonna be more difficult at the end here. We'll see. Lightning Peaks was pretty sketchy last week. Here we are, 1,000 guests at the end of... Oh, right, we looked at this. This park is, like, fucked, right. They give you a terrible park to start with. We did look at this. Okay, 1,000 guests is the goal. But yeah, look at this. They start you with a park full of vomit. Just vomit and vandalism absolutely everywhere. There's an open boat hire with multiple stuck boats just at the start. This is great. Thank you for that. Um, there's this ridiculously long transport ride, which is kind of unhelpful as well. Um, how much are we charging for this? 350? Okay. But yeah, things are not good. Look at our park rating. Look at the friggin' park rating, man. It's bad. Uh, we gotta start cleaning this shit up. It is slightly too early, but we're gonna put him up anyway. Hang on. Hang on. I got it. Gotta get Birdie up, or Beardy, or whatever. Yeah, that'll do. Alright. How are we gonna fix this? How are we gonna clean all this up? I guess I kind of just have to do it manually a little bit. Also, why are my handymen purple? That's interesting. A different colored handyman. I didn't even know that was possible. Just gonna drop them around and let them do their thing. Hopefully. I don't think that the... Well, let's see. The path network is generally a big loop, so that's not bad. If it wasn't a big loop, we'd have to turn it into a big loop, because that's what you do. Yeah, we can just get rid of some of the lights. Yeah, there's no repair mechanism. You actually just have to delete stuff if it gets broken, and then you can replace it if you want to. But I'm not gonna replace any of this stuff because it actually doesn't like do that much generally. Like benches do something technically, but for the most part, for the most part, they don't do that much, and actually lights do literally nothing. Oops. So there's not really a reason to replace this stuff. Oops. Oops. I don't think they do. The thing about Rollercoaster Tycoon is that like, Rollercoaster Tycoon 1 is good. We're currently playing that. Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 is an expansion on the first game, and it's also good. And then 3 is also a fairly like complex game. But after that, they basically never made a valid Roller Coaster Tycoon game ever again. So there's not like that many games in the series. All the games in the series made after 3 are just like ultra simple, like phone games, basically. So I don't really expect mechanical depth from any roller coaster tycoon other than like the first one or two or kind of three as well. So I'm not sure that they ever did add repairing things. I think that if stuff is broken, it's just broken. Yeah, there's still so much vomit on the ground everywhere. There's just so much. It's we're gonna really need to deploy an army to get this fixed. There's just so much of it. I'm gonna have to like probably micromanage them to make sure that they actually get it all done. I could also just delete all of the path and replace it. That's an option. You know, that might even be a better option if I just do this. I can clean it up myself like that. It costs money to do that, but it would get things done a bit faster. How big even is this park? I've been cleaning it up for a while and there's just I keep finding more. All right, well that's we've actually recovered we've recovered some park value a little bit. Um delete that. It's no longer at 0. Uh um fuck it. We gotta make some money off this. Where can I put one? The park is not very dense. So there's fuck. Just put one there. I'm not gonna get much value off this because the park is really not densely populated because there's like nobody here. Something broke. Do we have any? We have one mechanic. All right, he'll do it. He'll handle it eventually. Gonna build one of everything right there. Okay. So we gotta fix this boat hire. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fixed real quick. There we go. Ruin the boat hire. It's much lamer now, but now it'll actually work. People won't constantly get stuck on it. Yeah, this is broken. Is the guy even... Is our mechanic even close? I don't think our mechanic is close. I'm just gonna drop him there. Our mechanic was in some kind of, like, vomit-filled corner of the park. I gotta go find that. Well, actually, the park doesn't look that bad, generally. The park's looking pretty okay. I think we're probably... Yeah, okay, the park rating has recovered a lot. I think it's time to start building stuff. What have we got access to? No wild mouse. That sucks. Wild mouse would make this a lot easier. But I can just put down... You know, I have an idea. I kind of have an idea. Okay, that guy will find it eventually. That's fine. Uh-oh. Straight up can't put a path there. Okay. Let's move the entrance to, like, here. And then this can go... How is it still not been fixed? I put the guy right next to... I put the guy right next to it. Excuse me. How has it not been fixed? I literally put the mechanic right here. How the mechanic... You... He's heading for something else. Some other broken ride. Is he even gonna attempt to fix this, or does he just not care? He's not even attempting to... Okay, there's the call, finally. Let's get that open. But, yeah, that'll be fixed eventually. I kind of want to change that to the large monorail cars, because they're cooler. I'm not gonna do it. Yo, Muck, thank you. Thanks for the 79 months, dude. I appreciate it a ton. It's Tuesday. I don't know what you're talking about. It's literally Tuesday right now. Go ahead and max out our loan. Nice, got an extra 10K there. We're just gonna build a roller coaster here, like right here. I don't know how much sense this makes, but we're just gonna build it right here because I don't know where else to build it. Yeah, I'm officially gonna get on that list of long games that people have played. I think I think your game had to be at least 50 hours for that. Yeah, this is gonna go over 60. I don't know what's up with that other guy who played this apparently and did all main scenarios, but it took him over 100 hours. I don't know what that guy's deal is. This is not gonna take me over 100 hours, not to talk too much shit about someone I don't know, but like how did it take 100 hours? Yeah, like he must have failed scenarios and stuff, but like how do you fail a scenario in this game? Unless I'm about to like eat shit and fail the next couple scenarios over and over again. Um, I don't know. Roller coaster in the way, really? We can make that go up one more. Okay, how is this gonna work actually? I think what we have to do is man, I don't like how that goes over the path. I really don't like how that goes over the path. Stop that. You know what? No, here's what we can do. We'll just put the tight turn here and it'll just be fine. All right, now how the hell do I get this thing to end? Actually, I know how I'm gonna get it to end. I think I know how I'm gonna get this to end. There's a lot of stuff back here, but we can get it to go through this hill and then down in there. Then we can kind of pull this off. 15 minutes into Buffy. That Buffy game was pretty bad. That Buffy game was pretty bad, but it was still no Metabots Infinity. Metabots Infinity was like the worst time ever. It was really not good. I think I have to do some digging here. Really hard to see back here. Like what's in the way? Raise or lower land first. I just straight up can't see back here. Is it this? Okay, that's the reason. I don't know what I was digging. That it wasn't like letting me. I don't know what I was digging instead, but whatever. roller coaster and way. Is this gonna work? Roller coaster and way. That's at 14, so that's not gonna. And then that doesn't work. No. So that's in the way. I think that this might have to be a not wide turn right here. Or maybe we can do like an S-bend. This is not it. This is not it. There's no room for that. Yo, what's up, Lee? I think we gotta do a tight turn here. And then that can be 13. And then that can go like that. And then, does this work? Does that connect back there? That does connect back there. All right, sick. We've got a ride. I bet this ride's pretty good, too. I feel like this is pretty good. Let's just stick that stuff there for now. That turn right there is actually a little bit questionable, but whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Hopefully nothing will ever get stuck there, and it'll just be fine. That's pretty good. This turn here might be problematic. This turn here looks a little fast, but that looks pretty decent. Yeah, lateral Gs aren't too crazy. Max positive vertical is over 3. I don't know if that's a problem or not. Nah, we're good. Stats are good. Perfect. This is getting opened as is. Okay, we just have to move the entrance and exit to somewhere that makes sense. And then we just have to somehow make a path that connects. Somehow he's got to make this path connect now. Okay, that can go over like that. And then let's actually do this. Roller coaster and way. Really? That can only... Hang on, I think that means that what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the whole queue over here. This is a complete mess. This is a complete mess, isn't it? I think the queue's gonna go like that. And then this is gonna be like this. We have to do, hang on, if I do see-through invisible supports, now we can do this a little bit better. I just remembered invisible supports exists. But we can do that, and then we can do this. How is Rollercoaster in way? How... We're not even... That doesn't make sense. How... Hang on. Invisible supports. Oh, it is, because that does go right up to the... That does go right up to there. Yeah, we're gonna have to, like... do something weird. Like this. Well, that's an incredibly long... That's an incredibly long line, or an incredibly long path to get to the coaster, but it'll just have to be okay, I think. It'll just have to be okay, I think. And then the actual queue line for the ride is not as long as it could be. That'll have to be fine. Get the price of that up to, like, I'm putting it at $6. Honestly, we need money. I'm putting that at $6. This ride is worth $6. Wow, the excitement rating, putting the path over the top made the excitement rating go to 6.66 exactly. Interesting. Let's take you and have you just patrol the exit of this thing, because probably we're going to want someone on that. Alright, well, that's something. I can, like, re-tree everything as well, now that we've built it. Get all the trees back in there to maybe boost the excitement a tiny bit more even. Alright, that came out pretty good, I think. Yep, that got me an extra 0.09. Probably doesn't matter. We're at 380 guests. Park rating pretty much has recovered. Go ahead and plop one of these down, always. Kind of don't like the color. Hang on. Rolling for a better default color scheme. That's better. I always just put these. I'm very uncreative with this. I always just stick the... Uh-oh, that's a line for a ride. Hang on. In that case, move that back a bit. But I'm really uncreative, I feel like, with, like, the merry-go-round and stuff. I always just put it at the front of the park like this. But oh well, I'm gonna keep doing it that way. I've pretty much dealt with all of the problems. I think that does this still yeah, hopefully these rides aren't too old, the ones that we just start with. Hopefully these rides aren't too old and they just kind of stay good for making money. Not a ton of land to work with in this scenario. Hang on. Is there like a... No. Can't buy more land. Can you get construction rights over more land? Also no. So the park's not that big. We have to get 1,000 people into not that large of a space. I have a great idea. We're gonna put this here. This is my great idea. That connect. Let's not connect. It's kind of weird looking. It's kind of weird looking. I feel like it'd be fun to have like an island with stuff on it. But maybe I'll build an island with stuff on it. How expensive could it be? How expensive could it really be to build an island with stuff on it? Oh, that's like not even that deep. I thought that this was going to be a lot deeper water that I was going to have to raise up. Okay, this is easy actually. What are we putting on here? Cool. What are we putting on here? Kind of already used all of the... Kind of actually already used all of the normal rides. Maybe this. Maybe we stick this here. I'm gonna have to flatten this little hill that I just built. I built a little hill. I'm immediately flattening it. Well, here's what I can do. Just raise the whole thing, actually. Why does that look like ass from this direction? That looks really bad. Oh well. I'll have to do that then. There's like a little pit there, I think. Well, cool. It's not that great. I was hoping for a bit more. We'll do this, and we'll do this. Actually, no. Put the exit on that side. And there you go. That's kind of cool. Kinda. That kind of works. That kind of works, actually. Goal is 1,000 guests in 3 years. Goal is 1K. Is that a destroyed lamp? No, that lamp is not destroyed. This lamp is destroyed. Yeah, that's probably good. That's probably good for him. Yeah, well, so the next scenario that we have to do is, the next scenario is going to be the one where you can't dig or destroy any trees, apparently. So that one could actually be a problem, but I should be able to get 1K no problem here. Like, I'm already at 560, not even done with the first year. We're gonna get 1,000 no problem here. I'm honestly gonna run out of land to build on pretty quickly, I think. There's not that much. I feel like part of the problem is that this roller coaster is not an efficient use of land. I feel like that's part of the problem that they like present to you with this scenario. Like, this is not, look at all of the space being taken up by this one ride. It does look very cool, so I'm not gonna delete it, but look how much space it takes up. It almost makes me want to, like, what if we built a second one on the same land and then we just like tangle it around? That might look kind of cool. That might actually be pretty cool. I should do that. But there's not a lot of land to build decent coasters on. Let's see. This is, yeah, normal funding, no ride improvements. Gonna place a third one of them because I feel like rides are gonna start to break down faster and faster. That's nice. But yeah, there's like, we're probably gonna have to build some kind of thing. I feel like we're gonna end up building a thing like around here. It's gonna be really weird. Gonna end up having to use that land and like this patch of land. If they want to give me, the wild mouse, that would be perfect. But they're like not giving it to me here. How much money have I got? 8K. I probably don't have enough money to build like a coaster that takes up this whole area. I probably just don't have the money for it right now. It's gonna take a while to build up that kind of cash. I feel like it's sort of like things kind of snowball, where like I feel like usually for the first 75% of a scenario, I just have like no money. I'm like constantly waiting to have enough to build a coaster, and then for the last 25% of the scenario, I have so much money that I have no idea what to do with it. Oh my god, that dude escaped. Get back on the path. Kind of a lot of vomit around here. Is there someone I can get for this? And have him just like do all of that. I think that's okay. Slowly we're gonna start to zone everybody. At the start I just sort of like placed down like a small army of dudes to try to clean everything up. But I think I'm gonna slowly have to start to zone them properly. Yeah, fuck it. Let's build this thing. Let's build this thing. Where do I even begin? Oh, hang on. We're about to make a bunch of money off of rain. Gonna start to place a bunch of these real quick. Not bathrooms. That even connected? I think that is connected. Alright, cool. Hopefully we make a bunch of money off of that real quick. Probably not. It looks like nobody's buying umbrellas still. Come on, people. Buy my umbrellas. I did up the price, yes. It's, they're 20. They're 20, so people need to buy my umbrellas. They're not really doing it. We didn't sell too many. I think the park is just too big. I think people are just too spread out. Anyway, I think I'm gonna put the queue here. I'm gonna try to put it here. Raise or lower land first, really? That's like barely gonna make it, because we're going from 17 up to 16. That's gonna be kind of sketchy. And that's at 10. And that's at 10. So we need to like get out of here in general. There's no way, because that's at 11. So there's no way that's gonna really work. But that doesn't work either. If I do this... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Tree and way. I think there's no way that works. I think there's no way. 'Cause that's getting me back up to 17, which was the highest the ride ever even got to begin with. So that's not gonna work. I think what we're gonna do, I think it's just gonna have to go underground here. I think we're just gonna go underground here. We're just gonna go under this. Or we'll dig this out. We'll just dig this whole thing out. We're kind of building into the side of the hill, though, which is, like, not ideal. I'd love to get over here with the ride somehow. See, we're at 8K. Roller coaster and way. This roller coaster and way? Oh, yeah, because we've got... yeah, no, okay. I think there's no shot that this ride works right now. It's gonna take some fixing. Like, how can we be at 14 when we started at 17 and we're, like, not that, we're, like, not... We're, like, very far into the ride. There's gonna have to be a chain lift in there somewhere to fix this. Also, I'm kind of trying to bring this around to the ending at this point. Let's see, and the end is over there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to we're gonna have to get through this like horrible mess again. How is this even gonna work? We're gonna have to somehow cut through all of this. There's just no way. There's just no way. I'm straight up just gonna put, like, a little lift hill here. That's gonna have to be fine. Wait, if I just... There's nothing in the way if I just do that. That's weird, but okay. And then we're just gonna... Here's the plan. Here's the plan. The station is just gonna be up here, actually. That's the plan. The station is just gonna be up here, actually. Delete that. And then that can connect like that, sure. Well, this ride is not gonna work. But it's a start. It's actually working. Okay, that's a little sketchy, but it's actually working. And then right there, it works. It's fine. It's fine. It's literally fine. So I think this ride kind of sucks, but it did work. It did go all the way. Let's see what the stats are. I feel like there weren't really any... Oh, okay, 5.7. Nope, we're opening it. That's fine. That's fine. This is our ride now. I feel like it sucks a little bit, but I managed to get it to work. So we're gonna roll with this. I think the entrance and the exit kind of just have to be like that, and like that. All right, great. Well, that is kind of how I wanted it to be. Um, it's the way it's like tangled up with the red one as well. I think we'll change the color. The yellow doesn't look great. Can we get like a blue color scheme or something? And no, I'm gonna set that back to. All right, neat. Why is literally no one go? Oh, because it's raining. That's why. Let's go ahead and do 5.85. That's actually like pretty good for the like steel mini coaster, whatever this thing's called. I feel like. Let's do close it and change the cars to be the same as the other one. I have a pretty bad idea. I want to do like a go-karts or a car ride where the whole thing is underground, because I know that something about this game is that when it's raining, apparently guests, they don't want to go on uncovered rides, and like there's like some kind of calculation the game does to decide if a ride counts as covered or not, or like enough of it has to be under something. I wonder if like it kind of makes me want to build like an entirely underground go-karts track like right here or something. And it'll just be like you'll just see the entrance and then the whole thing will be indoors. Guests are complaining about the vandalism, really. Still. Well, I gotta add more food, apparently. Hang on. The guests are really complaining about the lack of food. Just place some of this stuff randomly. Alright, hopefully that appeases the guests. But yeah, maybe like right here. Maybe right here is the spot, actually, and then we just build it to go like under the haunted house. Right here might be the spot. Like we can do go-karts. How much money do I have? Oh, I'm rich. We're already at the become super rich part of this. But yeah, if the go-kart track is going to be entirely indoors, it doesn't even need to be that, like, good. It can kind of just... it can kind of just go around and do whatever, because we're not even going to see it. I think what we want is for this to come out of the hill, like, down here. Oh, we're a lot lower than I thought we were. We need to get up to, like... something like that might be good. We kind of have to cut into the hill, like, a lot for this. Just annoying. The amount that I'm cutting into the hill, like, doesn't look very good. You know, actually, we can do a better job with this. Entrance right here. Exit can go right here. You know what? Here's the plan. That is gonna be station platform, and we put the exit here. Then we've got all of this in here for the queue. But the whole queue can be underground is the idea. So we can just, like... at least a lot of the queue can be underground, I think. Or at least some amount of the queue can be underground. Maybe actually most of it can't. If I do this... I think if I do this... yeah, the whole queue's got to be indoors so that they can't know how long the line is. They've got to, like... we got to design the queue in that way where whenever you think you're about to get on the ride, finally, you know, there's another turn in the line, and then actually there's a whole second room of queue. Like that. And then we can go ahead and do, like, hang on. What am I looking for? And get, like, little fences down there. That looks kind of good. That looks kind of good. I'm happy with this. And because enough of the ride is underground, people are getting in line for it even though it's raining. So that's cool. That's a thing. I feel like it looks weird that you can't, like I wish that, you didn't have to have the entrance building like this. Like, we could have... I kind of wish that we could also have this just be, like, we just move the terrain up to there, you know? The fact that the entrance building has to be here is kind of unfortunate. Man, we're already at 782 guests. We're actually already really close to the goal. We're gonna hit this goal like extremely early. Let's see, 10K. Wait, how the hell is that guy? What? Oh, that's him getting off the ride, right? Of course. Oh wait, it's already. Hang on. I was typing in go-karts 1. I extended the queue line to be also underground, so it actually does go like quite a bit back there. So it is kind of a deceptively, like right here, you're like, oh, okay, you just go boom, boom, boom. It is, we did sort of do a deceptive queue where it goes underground and goes all the way back there. Stats on this are about what you'd expect. The vandalism in the park. Where is there still vandalism? There's just gonna be some, like, bench hidden behind a tree that got blown up at some point. I mean, I can try to use this. The vandalism here is really bad. Where are they well, they're kind of saying it everywhere. They're kind of saying it everywhere, which makes it seem like there's a vandalism problem in a number of places in the park. Like right there. There's one. But then there were people flashing on this side too, so it seems like, yeah, there's something. Oop. Shoot. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. That as well is vandalized. This right here is vandalized. That is. Yeah, there's a lot of vandalized stuff over here, actually. That's kind of bad. Wait, does this just lead to nothing? Hang on. Is there... There's a whole piece of path here that just leads to nothing. Hang on, we're gonna... we're gonna just get rid of this path entirely. That's just a confusing dead end. Oh, I have access to, like, every possible theme here. Look at all this. We can build, like, UFO shit. I'm just looking for a no entry sign. And hopefully that'll eventually kick everyone out of back here, and then I can just delete all of this path. I might not want to delete all the path, actually. Maybe I can fit a ride in back here somehow. I do still need 200 more guests, which I'm pretty sure that amount of guests I can actually just get through, like, through advertising if I had to. Maybe I could do like a Martian themed car ride through this back corner. Something like that. But yeah, right now it's just a dead end, and that's really not good. I think that guests get lost really easily when you have dead ends like this. I think that's how you end up with guests getting lost. What have I got? I could attempt to build an actual maze. I've never... The only hedge maze I've built this entire 51 hours of Rollercoaster Tycoon is the one-tile maze. I think mazes are some of the worst rides in the game, apparently, but, like, I could just build one. Since we're gonna win this scenario really easily. So, like, how do you do this exactly? Mode. What is this mode? If I, like, hover over this, will it tell me? This is fill-in mode. Okay. Oh, what the? Uh... This is very confusing. I actually kind of hate this. Uh... You know what? I'm bailing on this. This sucks. This sucks, I'm bailing on it. Never mind about building a maze. There's something really weird and confusing about that to me. Maybe a log flume. There's really not room for a log flume back here. It'd be good to get I can maybe do a log flume on this hill around this. There's not a ton of room in this park, is there? I think a log flume around here is going to be my best bet at building one of those. I have not built a chairlift yet. I don't think I have access to it. Nah, I don't. There is a monorail around the whole park, which is kind of exciting. The monorail came with the park. But I don't have chairlift access yet. Oh, it's almost time for the wooden wild mouse. Maybe we put a wooden wild mouse back here then. I feel like that's pretty doable to put in that back corner. Something I could do right here. This area is kind of interesting. Do this. The red one is not mine. The blue one is mine. I built the blue one to like tangle around the red one. And then this one also is not mine. This like hanging one. This came with the park. You can tell it came with the park because it's really good. I built this wooden thing. Which I think actually came out really good. And I built the blue one. Where am I? Oh, okay, here we go. The tech tree is a different order every time. It's not always the same. Well, that's an incredibly short queue line, but whatever. Whatever. I actually kind of hate the way this is placed. I feel like having the swinging ship with these like metal supports on the sides always looks terrible. I'm actually deleting this. Never mind. Like straight up never mind about this. We're gonna put that somewhere else. Yeah, there's, you know, it's something. Every scenario does kind of feel like the same thing though. Like I've done 18 of these scenarios at this point. This is scenario number 19, and it has kind of been the order you unlock rides in is not always the same, but it has kind of felt like doing the same thing 19 times. Yeah, that scenario we're gonna do where you have to, like, not delete any trees or change the land is gonna be, like, that one is gonna be, like, the one unique scenario out of all of them. Like, that looks terrible. Like, I don't like that. I think that technically that bit of, we can't connect the path here. Because, yeah, look at that. That doesn't quite work. I have to move this back one more. We have to put the ship, like, here, actually. You know what? I have an idea. Would this look cool if we do ship and then entrance building, path, entrance building, ship. None of these paths look like wood. I would love if there was like a wood-looking path, but there's kind of not. Like that. Does that look stupid? Or does that look kind of cool? I don't know. No queue line is a little weird on them, but like, like, should they have been next to each other instead? Should it have been, like I did, ship, building, path, building, ship? Should I have done path, building, ship, building, path? So that the two ships are properly right next to each other. Stick a stall on the end. We'll sell burgers. We'll sell pirate burgers. Actually, I think I'm just gonna fill this in like this. I mean, is it the coolest thing ever made? Not really, but I need to build something. I need to build something. We're gonna be here. It's only June of year 2. I think we finally got the wooden wild mouse unlocked. I feel like in here is gonna be the spot for that. Monorail 1 still hasn't been fixed. This dude will get there eventually. Maybe. Can I, like, zip the camera to him? How do I do this? There we go. Is he close to Monorail 1? No. Not really. He's actually right here. He's actually right here. Yeah, he's fixing it now. I could add a few more mechanics or something. Just in the hopes that they'll be closer on average if I do this. But yeah, I think we're gonna put a wooden wild mouse like right here. It is kind of always the same. Like there are other types of wild mouse. Like there's also the steel wild mouse, I think. I kind of assume there is if there's a wooden wild mouse. But like you just kind of never unlock that. Like where is it? I don't know. Hopefully that's okay. That's like pretty sketchy. Hopefully that's just okay. What's in the way there? Oh, I see. Hopefully if I go one more out, we can do this. Yeah, it looks like crap now, but that's how it's gotta be. I'm not really sure how we're gonna get to this ride. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, like with the queue line. Um, unless we keep this high up. Yo, what's up, Yemo? It is Tuesday. It is definitely Tuesday. I can't really see. I think this is gonna connect. Yeah, there we go. Oh, shoot. I didn't think of that. Um, I really did not. I did not think of that. I don't think there's anywhere we can put. I don't think there's anywhere we can put this. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Unless I move the monorail. I don't want to move the monorail, though. That's a big pain in the ass. Hmm. I didn't think of that. Yeah, there's literally nowhere we can put the entrance and exit buildings. Oh man, I kind of like this ride too. I think we just have to delete this. Unless I change how the monorail works. You know what? Fuck it. The monorail's not that big of a moneymaker, and we got a lot of time. I'm gonna change the course of the monorail a little bit. This is gonna be so ugly because now the ride is going over the whole thing. I'm actually gonna, you know what? Gonna move it again. I'm pretty sure I can do this. Roller coaster in way. Really? Well, if I just do that, that's like quite ugly, but if I do that, then now we can... That looks so ugly though. I hate that. I hate that, but I think it's how it has to be. But now I've got my entrance and exit buildings, and I can place them, and I'm pretty sure we can fit a path under the monorail track, so it's fine, because there was a path under it before. I'm gonna reopen the monorail now. That's from Conquer Live and Reloaded. That's the tutorial dude from the start of the game. And the ride doesn't even fucking work. Never mind. The ride doesn't even work. Great. Roller coaster in the way. Okay, so you just straight up can't build there. Wait, how does... Wait, what? Oh, does that stick out an extra... Okay, if I do that, try this. And then I can't make that. This whole ride might literally just not work. This whole ride might literally just be like a complete non-starter. The disgusting state of the paths and the vandalism still? Still having problems with that? I'm not sure if this actually fixes it. No, that doesn't fix it. We kind of can't get, the height we need. Like, it's not actually physically possible. I think I might just, surrender and just do this. There. Yeah, with humans on the ride, that'll definitely catch every time, I think. All right, well, the ride works now. I kind of feel like I compromised my vision on this one. It kind of didn't work out as planned. But hey, the stats are fine, so whatever. Compromised visions work. All right, well, there's our ride. We can get rid of the no entry sign now. Have a bad feeling about this ride. It's gonna be fine. This bit here is a little sketchy, but I'm sure it will never crash, and it definitely won't crash right before we finish the scenario and ruin everything. Up the price on this, of course. Lots of people riding that. Lots of people still riding this, just making sure that my prices haven't, like, gotten bad. I guess what I am slightly worried about is that one of the stats was kind of close to being too high, I think, at one spot. And it's possible that having guests on it will recalculate the stats to be unacceptable, even though the stats were good in testing. That's a thing that can happen. But nah, it seems like it's fine. It seems like it's fine, actually. This thing right here is really sketchy, but it seems like it's actually fine. Gonna hire a guy just to cover this whole weird branch. So what was that about the disgusting state of the paths? The litter here is really bad. Where we have litter problems somewhere. Except at this point, it's been so long that, like, where they're standing when they're complaining about the litter problems is, like, not... The guests are complaining about the amount of litter in the park. The litter here is really bad. But they move after saying it. So, like, if I go to where they're flashing, it's not that bad here. It's slightly bad. Okay, it's like, kind of bad, actually. I'll hire a guy. That'll be his zone. Hopefully that'll get fixed. I did not assign anyone to Pirate Island because pirates would never litter. They wouldn't do that. So it's fine. Okay, they might have done it a little bit. They did it a little bit. Hopefully that'll clean that up a bit. Man, $23,000 at the end of year 2. I'm not spending my money nearly as quickly as I'm making it. It's good that you the thing about the scenario, you start with a number of roller coasters already. So, like, you do start in a decent position to make money. You just have to clean up a lot of the crap at the start of the scenario, and then you're, like, already in a pretty decent position for making a lot of money. Muck is not in solitary confinement this time. It's been a while since we trapped Muck on a 1x1 island. I have a guy literally just patrolling this, like, 3x3 block. Whatever, I'm made of money. I don't care. I can hire 1 million people to keep my place clean. Because of vandalism, I've just had to slowly, one thing at a time, delete, like, pretty much every fixture in the entire park. I've deleted, like, 90% of them at this point because they've gotten vandalized for different reasons. But yeah, I'm thinking, well, first of all, I'm thinking save, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're deleting this. And then making a new save. But I'm thinking Log Flume can go in here somehow. Yo, what's up, Rio? Log Flumes are always a bit of a mess, but people like them. How are we gonna do this? I think we're gonna do it like this. Too high for supports, right? Of course, we're gonna have support problems. That is so annoying. No, didn't mean to do that. You know, you joke about it, but I do kind of dislike how I always end up like deforesting. You have to really do a lot of deforestation in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like you sort of inevitably do end up taking out all of the trees in the entire park in order to build stuff. Okay, what I want to know is there a way? Because I ultimately need this to come back this way on here so that we can then use up this space and then have it circle back. How do we do it? Oh, we just do that. Okay, that's really easy. That's really easy, actually. Oop. Yeah, it would have to be like it would have to be like some kind of like natural park tycoon. Or like a national park tycoon, rather, you know? EPA Super Fund Site Tycoon. You gotta clean the place up. All right, perfect. That's good. That's a good log flume. Entrance and exit buildings can just go here and here, and I'll figure out how to make that work. Go ahead and do that and that as well. Looks pretty good. Wait a minute, we can use... Hang on, I just got a really good idea. No, actually, never mind, that can't work. I almost got a really good idea. Does that really not... Oh, no. Oh, no, dude. That's... I might have to move the monorail again. I might have to move the monorail again. That's kind of a problem. What if I... Hang on. This is gonna probably not work, but if it does work, it'll look really cool. First of all, let me just check. Can we build path? Under here. Yes. All right, check this out. Check this out. This is going to look really cool. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, I have to, like, do a bunch of digging here. Like, if we take this and we move the entrance and exit to this side. This is such a pain. I can't see anything. This is such a pain. And it just doesn't work. It, like, literally just, like, kind of doesn't work. Well, okay, no, because hang on. I didn't do this as good as I could have. We could put the entrance far back as here. And then we've got 2 spaces. That's a really short queue line, but it works. I think we might have to go with this because I don't have any other plan. I think this just has to be how it is, and it's a little weird that the queue line is that short. Wait, hold up, no, better idea. Better idea. Entrance can go on this side, and then we do over this, except log flumen way. Log flumen way. God damn it. We worked well. It almost worked. Wait, hold up. But then we can change the ride. We can actually adjust the ride a bit to fix this. Like that. And then that'll give us the extra space we need to pull this off. Like so. So that's very ugly. That's very ugly, but that gets us a full-sized queue line, so there, we're doing it. That this looks really bad right here. All of the digging that I had to do as well to get this to work is pretty not so good. Decent ride, though. Still decent. Well, this is fine. Like, you don't really have to worry about, like, G-forces and stuff on a log flume. They don't care. They don't actually care because they just love log flumes so much that they're willing to put up with bad ride design like this. I give them a bit of a lead time here to, like, lose speed as well, so it's totally fine. Yeah, look how cool it is. They go into like a log cabin and then they magically teleport into this other log cabin. Actually, they're just going through like a dirt tunnel in here. I imagine there would be some fun show scene in the dirt tunnel. There would be like animatronics in there or something. Keep it dark and spiderwebby. I think the problem is there it wouldn't be spider webs, it would be bees' nests. I think you'd be going through the tunnel of bees. This line is going to be a problem, by the way. I've actually made the queue line way too long here. People are going to complain about waiting in line for too long. Also, my park rating is not as good as it should be. It's 800. 800's okay, I guess. There's no way to speed this up, right? That's not a... Yeah, that's not a thing. I've kind of made this ride way too long. Like the throughput on it is garbage, so that's a bit of a problem. But I don't know. It's probably fine. But yeah, look how quickly they lose speed. Like it's completely fine. The amount of litter in the park. How are they complaining about the amount of litter in the park after all of the people I've hired to try to fix this? Also, how is nobody... Okay, that guy is there. That guy is there. More vandalism. Where are the guests that are complaining? The litter here is really bad. Oh, there's some vomits in here. Hang on. I don't think I've ever had this many handymen, actually. I have so many handymen in this park and they can't take care of it. They still can't handle it. But like there, literally just that. I need to enable the underwater view so that I can see where I'm putting this dude. I really don't get it. How? How is there still vandalism? The vandalism in the park. Where are they saying it? The vandalism here is really bad. It's all on this side of the park. It's all like in this back corner somewhere. They're just seeing like one destroyed bench and are just getting really mad about it. It's probably that bench. The guests are really picky about vandalism and trash. They'd fucking lose it if they saw the actual state of like Six Flags. They wouldn't be able to handle it in real life. Okay, let's just start like, I don't even know. Let's just start putting people places. I think everyone should be. I think everyone needs to have a wander radius. Like, I don't think just having people wandering the park is working. We're at 1,000 though. No advertising required. March year 3, so we've got the whole year where we've already hit the goal and are now just waiting. Great. I've kind of run out of space to build in as well. Like, where am I gonna build anything? I guess like maybe in here something is possible. Still don't have access to the stick that on maximum. Hurry up. Still don't have access to the chairlift. Yeah, we're only 3 scenarios away. We gotta do this one, and then after this scenario, there are 2 long ones. One of which has some additional restrictions on it that might actually make it kind of interesting and difficult. But there's only 2 more, so in the end it's gonna be, we're gonna finish this scenario probably around like 52:45, something like that. So I think I think we're gonna end up with this game taking slightly over 60 hours. I think it's gonna be like 60-30 is my prediction. So under 10 hours to go on Rollercoaster Tycoon. Funny thing is, that 60-hour goal is for 1/4 of the scenarios. We'll have officially done 21 out of the 86 scenarios on the disc at that point, after over 60 hours of pretty efficient play as far as, like, I haven't failed a scenario before. I've never had to redo one. I guess my play hasn't been super efficient because I have been lagging the game a bunch. If I really wanted to be efficient, then I would be setting up like winning scenarios as quickly as possible and then just zooming all the way out so there's no lag, and then we would just sit on this screen, and that would probably save me a couple hours overall. Just because this game actually slows down like a lot when it lags. No speed up mods or anything like that. Even if there was a speed up mod, I don't think I would use it. I feel like I wouldn't want to use it because, I don't know, I just wouldn't. Like, there have been a lot of games. I'm trying to think of a good example. People were bugging me about the encounter rate mod for Skies of Arcadia on GameCube. That was a thing. And people were talking about, like, playing Wind Waker HD instead of the original as well. And it's like, nah, we got to get the original experience. Even if the original experience is, like, bad, we got to get the original experience out of these games. Yeah, I would never play an HD game on this stream. Pay no attention to Amped 2 720p mode. I would never play an HD game. It just occurred to me that there's multiple chain lifts in the red coaster here. I'm not the only one who had to resort to multiple chain lifts here. Chris Sawyer did it. There's one right here, and there's one over here. Yeah, there's just not a lot of room in this park. It's a bit small for I think I've just gotten better at building things quickly. So like where before it would take me 3 in-game years to do this. I mean, it doesn't help that there were already 2 roller coasters here to start, but I think I've just gotten better at building stuff as well, to where I build roller coasters much faster now. So then it's just like, well, I've I've filled the space. I deleted it. I did back it up to my PC before I deleted it, but I deleted the original park from the first scenario. And that first scenario park is literally just like nothing. I don't know how it took me a full in-game year to build basically nothing in that original scenario. Like, what was I doing for that whole time? I built like a couple paths and a few like flat rides like this, and that was it. Yeah, I was still figuring out the controls and where everything was in the menus and stuff, I guess. I feel like this spot is perfect for a maze. I don't know how to make a maze. I'm just gonna force myself to figure this out now. We're putting a maze here. We're putting a maze here. I'm gonna figure this out somehow, no matter what. Like, I feel like the way I wanna build the maze is by like starting by laying out all of the hedge and then cutting the hedge manually, you know? Like, I don't want to this weird mode that they put you in where you're like cutting a path through the hedge is like not useful to me. That's how they clearly want you to do it, because otherwise you have to do what I'm doing, which is like, this is clearly weird and bad. I think this is the shape that I want the maze to be in. Like that. Oh, God, no. I can't see anything. I think that's good, though. Can I, like, jump around? Okay, you can jump around like that. Put that there. Don't like that. Alright, hold up. I think I kind of cooked. I think I've cooked. Let's... fill that in. And then... do that. And then I think that's kind of a valid maze design. We put the entrance here, the exit here, and I think that's legit. I think that's actually legit. Because you come in here, you go this way, then down here, then up that way, and then out there. See, is there like different... I think there's different... We can give him brick walls, so it's like a a horribly oppressive maze. I kind of like this because it looks more like a corn maze. Stats on it are incredibly exciting. Actually, wait, are the stats on this better than the stats on the go-karts? They might be. It literally might be. Yes, the maze is more exciting than the go-karts. Great. Fill that in with wood or something. Yeah, there are corn mazes. I feel like corn mazes are like an all over the place thing. You know, I haven't been in a good corn maze in a minute. But you know, as like a kid, definitely there was this farm that wasn't far from where I grew up that I remember they'd do a corn maze every year. That's pretty good. I'm proud of my maze. I'm proud of my maze there. The whole system is a little weird. I definitely prefer to like lay out the like lay out all the hedge and then go back through with the move tool and like, you know, then draw in the paths. I feel like that just makes a lot more sense than the way they seem to want you to do it, where you just sort of draw the path from scratch with nothing. And it's just like, well, there, perfect. It just seems weird to me. Yo, what's up, Gumby? Thanks for the thanks for the GL on Rollercoaster Tycoon. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think part of the problem with mazes is that guests are kind of too stupid to solve them. I think guests are generally too stupid to actually solve mazes. They take like forever to get out of there. I know there's some kind of I don't know if this is a thing in the original game. I remember seeing this video that there's some kind of bug in guest pathfinding when in mazes where they're like far more likely to turn right than left or something like that. Or left than right is I'm not sure which one it is, but there's some kind of like maze design you can create that exploits this to where like it's a maze that looks really simple but is completely unsolvable. It's like this here. We'll build one and we'll see if it works. Where am I gonna stick this thing? We're gonna put it right here, right next to the other maze. I'm not sure if this might have just been like an open RCT thing. I don't know if this was a thing in the original game. But here we go. Here's where our theoretically impossible maze is gonna be. You know, we're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna fix it later. The way you do this is like kinda... How am I gonna actually build this thing? Basically, you just do this. No. Basically, you just do this, where you see there's like a bunch of these little cubby holes. And I think if you do this, then it like really, really breaks their pathfinding, and they cannot possibly solve this. It's the controls for designing mazes are so fiddly. Like this kind of sucks to do. This kind of really sucks to do. Oop, screwed it up. All right, there we go. And then entrance here, exit here. And this should be there. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Ah, no, they're just going right through it. Never mind. It might be a okay, no. See what I mean? Hang on. And no, okay, they are kind of going right through it. Never mind. Never mind. This actually looks quite solvable for them. One guy just bolted straight to the end, actually. It must have been a bug in Open RCT then. I know at some point this maze design was like it was like just a maze like this would be completely unsolvable for them. They seem to be doing okay with it though. It must not have been a thing in the original game. It's a bit disappointing. Oh well. Horn maze and ooh. Well, the idea was something that their odds of turning left and right coming out of the cubby holes were not the same, was the idea. It was something like when they were coming out of the cubby holes, they would have like a 75% chance of turning right. So for them to solve the maze, they would have to like go through the whole thing with, and if they ever went into a cubby hole, then they would just like reset their progress back to the start. How many people have solved this thing? Oh, we can up the number of... We can up the number of guests. Customers 72 per hour. Hang on, why does it default to only 4? That's ridiculous. Let's get some more people in there. You know, it kind of does seem like it might be working. I might have just not built the maze to be large enough to properly, like, trap people forever. But actually, it kind of does seem like it's working. It kind of does seem like it's working. Like, there's nobody in the second half of the maze. They can't... Like, someone will get there, and then they'll go back. I think it's working, actually. I think the maze pathfinding glitch is working. Like, look at them all stuck at the start of the maze. Nobody can go further. When you have 16 people, it's a little bit clearer what's going on. Oh, okay. Is green guy about to escape? Hell yeah, 2 people just solved it. But I think that if we just added, like, a few more ribs onto this, I think it would become, like, literally impossible. Did he immediately go back in after solving it? Look, the people love the maze. The thing about the maze as well, mazes cannot break down. So this maze will be sinking 16 guests into it forever. Yeah, they finish the maze and it's just like, hang on, I can do it better this time. That was slow. Then they go back in and immediately start taking the wrong turns again. Well, I'm just gonna pick a guy at random, and we'll name him Muck 1000, and we'll see how long it takes Muck to solve the maze. So far, he is struggling to solve the first 2 cubby holes. I feel like this is actually like self-sabotage, and we're gonna end up with 16 guests that want to get off harder corn maze. And they're gonna like tank my park rating or something. He's very hungry. Muck has to escape the maze so that he can eat lunch. It's good that he bought an umbrella before coming in here, though. It would suck to be one of the guests who's trapped in here and getting rained on. Let's see, how many people have solved it? 204 customers per hour. Total customers, 7. I think that means only 7 people have solved the maze. Because if there's way more than 7 people have entered the maze, so it must be that their 7 is counting the people who have exited. I don't think I can put an entertainer in the maze, no. I want to get out of harder corn maze. Wait, he's kind of cooking though? He's kind of, no, no, Muck, turn around. Damn it, he was kind of cooking though. He got close there. Nope, now he's going all the way back to the start. All the way back to the start. That's unfortunate. Total customers 8. An 8th guy made it out at some point there. I feel like I built it to be the perfect size, where it's like just barely solvable. Oh, okay. No, no, no. They're going back. One guy looked like he was about to solve the mystery of the druids. Oh, yeah. See, look, that guy in green just got out of the maze right there. And the total customers went up to 9 when he did. So this is a counter of how many people have escaped from the harder corn maze. 9 people have made it out. I want to get out of harder corn maze. I have the strangest feeling. Wait, what did that guy say? Someone just said I have the strangest feeling right now. What does that mean? He gets a feeling so complicated in the harder corn maze. Well, we'll come back to that in a bit and see if Muck has escaped. Guess say that when you have the inspector open? Oh, I see. So if you're like looking at their thoughts, then they know. They know I'm here. Do I still not have the... Oh, I did unlock the chairlift at some point. Awesome. Well, time to build the chairlift. Where are we sticking this thing? I kind of want to just put it like straight through the center of the park. Just like that. Just like bisect the park. Chairlift complete or Muck escapes. I think chairlift complete defeats Muck escapes here. Easy. And then, I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I think we might just build it on this side. Can't really see what I'm doing, but I think this is correct. I hope it's correct. Chairlifting way. That's not great. It's actually really bad. Chairlifting way. Might have to build... I might have to build this path, like, way over here. Can I just... Actually, hang on. We're just gonna dig into this. We're just gonna dig into the side of this mountain. And it's just gonna work. Like that. And then for this side, this should be way easier. There you go. All right, perfect. Get that open. Speed that up, of course, so we don't have so much line issues. Like, actually, let me check on this, because I've never checked on this before. Yeah, a lot of people complaining about standing in line too long for my log flume. That is actually a problem. All right, let's see. Is he out? He got out. Actually, he got out. Let's see if he's still in the park somewhere. Yeah, there he is. He escaped. He is no longer happy, but he did escape. Someone got out of the harder corn maze and immediately puked. The sickening corn maze. The amount of litter in the park. How are guests still like, where? The litter here is really bad. They're saying it by the entrance, interestingly. Oof, yeah, actually, the park entrance has gotten really bad. Park rating is 853, about 1,100 guests in the park. All right, so we're still set for beating this thing, no problem. It's a constant battle against litter in this park. I don't know why. I don't know why the guests in this park are just like extra rude or something. I'm deleting that. That looks like crap. that the ride was just going through that tree. We had to trim the tree back a little bit. It's starting to grow over the track. Well, I'm happy with my harder corn maze. I'm glad it works. I'm glad that the harder corn maze works as intended. Only 20 people have ever escaped. Like, when it rains, people won't go on the mazes because they're not covered. So slowly everyone drains out of this maze as the people solve it and new people don't come in. But the people do not drain out of this maze. This one is not the same way. Nobody's going on this. It's probably too expensive. Oh no, it's because it was raining. Okay, that's all. Now people are going on it. Yep, love to have a chairlift running through the park, always. Is anyone coming to fix this? Yeah, the mechanic situation in the park is not great. It's gonna start like, I'm super rich. I'm legit just gonna hire a ton of mechanics. That's my plan. Like there. Hopefully 10 mechanics combined. They'll like spread out a little bit. And the game will stop complaining at me about how long it takes them to fix stuff. I like my little scrambled eggs island. It's good. 50,000. I don't think I've ever had this much money, actually. 50K, geez. I feel like we're gonna end this with, like, the highest company value I've ever had. I don't know why. I don't know what about this park is generating so much money. It's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 5 roller coasters. I think the idea is just that I've had all 5 roller coasters up and running for a long time. Yeah, you started with 2 coasters, so that definitely helps. The log flume is a good addition to the park as well. Like this is something I don't really like about the log flume. Like they don't spread out very well. Like this entire half of the ride is just empty because people get on the ride as soon as possible. So like they don't, it kind of just like doesn't, I don't know. I kind of wish that the ride vehicles would end up a bit more evenly distributed. I feel like it's a bit ugly this way. I did take out a loan at the beginning. I did max the loan right at the start. I think my highest company value ever was actually in the 70s, so I don't think we're gonna get there. I think I managed to get to the 70s one time. Why is there nobody on the ride? There are people waiting in line for it. A lot of people say it looks too intense. What's the intensity on this? 9.12. It might be, like, hang on. Nah, we can't really see. Never mind. I know that, like, depending on scenario, guests do have different intensity preferences. Like, some scenarios will have guests that want more or less intense rides. I wonder if, like, the gotcha for this ride is just that, like, most guests don't want to ride it. I feel like this is kind of a cool view. We can see the red coaster and the blue coaster and the monorail and the wild mouse. Kind of a cool view. Oh, hell yeah, we unlocked the Woe Belly. Let's go. I still don't understand why they call it that. The Woe Belly. Oh, we've got bumper cars, too. I have a lot of stuff I could build right now. I don't know where to put any of this, but I feel like back here is where it's gonna go. Back here is kind of a quiet area of the park. Could dig the bumper cars into the hill here. Actually, I don't think I can dig the bumper cars into the hill here, because if I do, we're gonna expose the the track for this, the go-karts. I've never once in my life heard that ride called the Woe Belly before. I feel like Chris Sawyer made that up. There's nobody who calls it the Woe Belly. Maybe I should build another island, like right here, and then I should put the Woe Belly on it. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I think I'm gonna do nothing. No, I should do something. Maybe I might literally just put it like right here. All right, Woe Belly. That's good. That's good. That's a good belly size. I think I'm gonna have to do something kind of elaborate here, though, to get the entrance and exit buildings to work. Like, I think I have to do this. I think I actually have to do this. And then I don't know where the exit's gonna go. I think what I'm gonna do, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna put the exit here, and then we're gonna rearrange this queue line. Or I'm just gonna shrink the queue line by one, because there's never a full queue anyway. We can just do that. And then... Really? So it's like Chris Sawyer thought that us Americans called it the Woe Belly. He's like, yeah, that's what they call it over there, right? And instead of asking, he just went with it. Oh, monorail in the way. Shoot. Well, in that case... Cool. And then we just undo this scar upon the land. Alright, cool, perfect. Woe Belly. The my goodness stomach. Maybe. That's like really weird. I actually kind of love how the land goes right up to the top, goes right up to like the start of the pointy bit of the entrance queue. That looks really stupid in a fun way. There's just this pointy thing sticking out of the ground there, advertising Tower 1. Hardly anyone is actually getting on. Okay, now we've got a queue line for it. This ride's not that popular, though. Force 9. Yeah, it might just be old or something. Well, if it's... I think the idea is that if it's old, then guests won't want to... They'll consider it not worth the money. I think a lot of them are complaining about the intensity. There's a guy that can't afford it. Like, just looking at Force 9 makes me sick or whatever. It makes me feel sick. Like, I think this is the problem. I think the stats are actually just too high. Like, the intensity and nausea, I think, are just, like, too high for the average Ivory Towers park goer. The nausea rating on it is, where is it? 9.98, which is kind of high. So, I can't really blame them. Bunch of casual park goers don't want to ride this 9.98 nausea ride. Guests are somehow still complaining about the vandalism. Where are they doing it? Oh, it looks like the haunted house is charging too much. Hang on. Lower that. I've been standing in line for 3-minute wait for too long. That feels appropriate somehow. I accidentally made the queue line for 3-minute wait too long, so they're complaining about the wait. That name has ended up paying off. Perfect. There's still, like, we could put one of those somewhere. We could put the bumper cars somewhere. The bumper cars. People love the bumper cars. But I don't know where I would put it. I'd have to, like, put it on a platform on the side of this hill, I think. Would be the play. But this scenario is about to end, so I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, we're on the final quarter of the month. How many people have made it through? 36 people. 37. A guy just got out. Compared to this maze, which has 224, there's like a tenth as many people making it out of the harder corn maze. Hooray, cool. Scenario done. Awesome. Everyone clapped. See, where are we? There we are. Well, that's another scenario in the books. We are down to the final 2 scenarios in this. The 2 long ones at the very end are all that's left. I think this part came out pretty okay. Actually. I'm happy with it. I like my little island. I like my blue coaster tangling around with the red one. I like my mazes. So all that's left is, and yeah, there we are, 58,000 park value, but I think I got in the 70s at some point. Yeah, Diamond Heights, we got 70,000, so not as good as Diamond Heights. But 58 looks like it's the second highest we've ever gotten, maybe. But all that's left is Rainbow Valley and Thunder Rock. Thunder Rock is this one. You have to build on top of a giant ass rock. So that's cool. And the next one that we'll be doing is Rainbow Valley, which is you must develop the area into a large theme park. The local authority won't allow any landscape changes or large tree removal. And also the whole park is like this weird shape where it's like linear. It's not it's like a weird useless shape, and we can't delete any of the trees or move any of the land. So this one's actually going to be kind of hard. This is the one that's next. And we need 1,000 guests. So I don't know. This one's going to be a giant pain in the ass. If there's any scenario that we ever fail, it might unironically be this one. Though I feel like I can just build like above the tree line is probably all you do. You probably just build everything like above the tree line, like really high up roller coasters is the idea. But that'll be for next Tuesday. Going to stop the timer here. And yeah, that'll be the next scenario that we do, I guess.